Good morning, family. How you doing? Today is Thursday. Man, this week went by fast. Let me make sure I check my phone. Yeah, today is really Thursday. Um, yeah. Today's show is very fitting uh, for today. Um, yeah. You already know technology was trying to do whatever technology wanted to do today. Good morning. First of all, if you can hear me, if it's clear, if it's not garbled, let me know. Because I came in today and something told me, it was like, okay, do a do an additional sound check just to make sure what you're hearing and how they hear it. So I did that sound check and it was terrible. I'm talking about terrible. Every syllable of the word terrible. It was terrible all the way. And I couldn't figure it out. I thought it was the connection. I started unplugging the microphone. I switched microphones and it was not making any sense to me on what was going on. And so uh made some phone calls, and the best advice that I received, well, made a phone call, and the best advice that I received was walk away, breathe, and come back. And just in that moment, uh, it helped me out. So today is very, very, very fitting. Be persistent. Today we're talking about being persistent. And I could have quit. I could have walked away. I could have left it where it was because technology, it's been doing its thing lately. But being persistent kept me in the room. Being persistent kept me going. Good morning, Miss Lambert. Good morning, Miss Tadali. Good morning, Miss Salinas. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it because I felt I've already put in a lot of time today just being here early. Now, if I go live at 7:30, I have to be here a whole lot earlier than 7:30 just for sound check and graphics and stuff like that. So we're going to be talking about being persistent. And trust me, you definitely want to share this live on your news feed. Again, let me dial back. We'll start with gratitude. I appreciate you for watching, Miss Lambert, Miss Toddy Lee, Miss Salinas. I appreciate you for watching because y'all can be anywhere right now at 7:30 in the morning, anywhere. But you're here right here on Consistency is Currency podcast. Make sure you also like the Consistency is Currency Facebook page. Follow it on YouTube. Those that's listening in the podcast space, I appreciate you as well because there are millions, I think like 1.7 million podcasts out there, but you're right here with me and listening. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, be persistent. We always go through the definition of the word, and then I take from those definitions and I create a new definition. I call it an R2 definition. So I create the R2 definition. So let's go ahead and jump. 2 feet in. All right, persistent. Persistent is continuing firmly or abstainingly in a course of action despite of difficulty or opposition. Trust me, there were some difficulties going on today. Some solid difficulties, some technical difficulties that was going on today. So continuing firmly or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulties or opposition. And the second definition is remaining within the environment for a long time after it's introduced. Trust me, I was introduced to oppositions today. I was introduced to the difficulties early this morning. So the environment that I found myself in, it was not a short, it was a short-term difficulty, but it felt like a long time for me to figure it out. So remaining within the environment for a long time after it's introduced, because again, I was already introduced to the difficulties and the opposition this morning. Again, this is so fitting. Be persistent is so fitting today because that's what I had to do in order for you to see me and hear me. And the third definition is remaining attached instead of falling off in the normal manner. I don't know what a normal manner is, because if quitting and falling off is your normal manner, then I don't see how you can try to even utilize the word persistent in a sentence if the norm for you is falling off, or the norm for you is quitting, or the norm for you is I'm taking my ball and I'm going home. If that is your norm, then being persistent is not something that you should say, because you're not at that point. If it's normal for you to quit or normal for you to fall off. So remaining attached instead of falling off in the normal manner. I don't even know why they have that in there. I don't even like that. That's why I do the R2 definition, because there are some definitions that's like was created so long ago that it's not really relevant to how we live our life, or relevant to how some of us even have matured right now in 2022. So this whole definition right here, remaining attached instead of falling off in the normal manner, is definitely not my norm, and I pray it's not your norm. If falling off is your norm, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, so the R2 definition of persistent is remaining attached to the vision or mission, whichever one, however you see it, remaining attached to the vision or mission in spite of difficulties or opposition. That's the R2 definition. Again, I don't even like this definition, but it's on the internet. Remaining attached instead of falling off in the normal, falling off in the normal manner, remaining within the environment for a long time after its introduction. Because again, environment, we talked about it yesterday. We talked about it previously when we said the 2% environment, 2% of your day, the first 28 minutes of your day, those difficulties that you may face, you can be persistent and push through it. But I want you to maintain by remaining attached to the vision or mission in spite of the difficulties or the opposition. So now let's talk about how can you begin to build a persistent life, or how can you begin to even construct what persistence or persistency is going to do for you. The first thing that you have to do is you have to have a solid vision or mission. A solid vision or mission, because when you have that solid vision or mission, like today, I have a mission to come on in the morning to talk about consistency as currency. That is a vision that was given to me previously, and the mission was so solid that I was not going to have the normal fallout, but I wanted to ensure that my solid mission is going to come to pass. So I'm going to figure out how to make it work. I'm going to figure out how to bring it to pass. And that's the same thing that you can do. Why? Because when you stand firm on your vision, or stand firm on your destiny, or being solid within the journey that you're taking in your life, you have to be persistent if you're ever going to get to that destination. But you also know that you are going to have to see it in order for you to see it come to pass. So be solid on that vision and that mission, not wavering, not falling off. But I am looking that vision in the face, and I am telling that vision that I will make this happen, because that is my affirmation of seeing this vision come to pass. So you are going to have a solid vision and mission, and be persistent in that vision. And after that, like, I had to really do this today. So again, that's why I say today was so in line with the activities that was going on. And I'm sure it's not just me. What did you deal with this morning? If you didn't deal with anything this morning, cool. You might use this for later on today. But what happened this morning that you had to rest, breathe, and to tell yourself not to quit? I mean, if you're transparent enough, put that in the comment section, because there may be someone that may watch it on the replay that may just hit that wall, or may be dealing with that particular situation that you just rest and breathe and told yourself not to quit, to continue to go on. When you're doing it, give yourself the time needed to breathe. again, with the wisdom that I was given to just take a break, walk away, breathe, and just come back. And that's what I did. I said, okay, I got some time. I'll go ahead, I'll restart the computer, and I'll just come back. And just doing that and taking that moment, it really began to feed into the psyche to say it's not as bad as you're making it out to be. It's bad to me, but I was looking at it from the terms of what's the worst that can happen. There's no fire in here. There's you have another microphone if need be. So what's the worst that can happen? It cannot work. So resting and breathing and not quitting allowed me to be here right now live. So whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing with, rest, breathe, and don't quit, and give yourself the time needed to breathe, and then come back and re-engage it. It doesn't mean that you quit. It does not mean that it's over. It means that you're persistent and you're patient in your persistence, because you're going to have to couple patience with persistence, or you're going to go crazy. You're going to be walking around looking crazy in the mug, because you're so there's so much stress that is going to be in your shoulders. There's so much stress that's going to be on your mind, because you didn't rest and you didn't breathe and you didn't execute patience and couple patience with your persistence. Ensure that you couple patience with your persistence, because time has a patient component. Patience has a time component as well as a timing component and timing consideration. So I had to take the consideration of I do have time. So let me take the time to take the necessary steps of breathing and then come back and re-engage. So whatever you're going to be dealing with today, when it feels like you're being pushed or you have a feeling of impatient, take the time to breathe, come back, reassess, and re-engage, and be persistent in the mission and the vision that you had set for yourself. All right. So the next thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to keep a very positive mental attitude. You're going to have to tell yourself, don't quit. You're going to have to tell yourself, I got this. You're going to have to tell yourself that now may not be the time, but it is not the time to quit. I'm going to say that again. Now may not be the time, but it is not the time to quit. You're going to have that inner voice to speak inside of you, to where you're going to have to speak life into your own situation. You're going to have to speak life and breathe into your own situation to tell yourself that you got it, and keep that positive attitude, because that positive attitude is going to give you the ability to reach new altitudes, new highs, new heights, because the inner voice within has to be heard in order for you to have that outward approach or that outward appearance that there is something more in you, and you're going to have to pull it out. Because remember, it may not be the time, but it is not the time to quit. And the last thing is, stay disciplined with healthy mental habits. You're going to have to stay disciplined. You're going to have to talk to yourself. Sometimes you may even have to scold yourself. Be like, man, what were you thinking? And then you're going to have to tell yourself, you know what? All right, bet. Because it's really learning. Persistence is an action. It is not something that happens without you taking action. So time takes action. Discipline takes action. Developing healthy mental habits take action. And when you begin to develop those healthy mental habits and having the healthy mental attitudes, that's when you will understand persistency is where you're going to go. Then you're going to be able to duplicate those processes more than once. Why? Because you become persistent in healthy mental habits and persistent in having a healthy attitude. Because I could have quit this morning, I could have walked away this morning, but because I had a mission and a vision that I was in line with doing, I knew that it's going to take time, and it's going to take a rest period, and it's going to take me breathing in order for me to continue to do what I know is my mission and my vision and my calling to do. So as you're going throughout your day, understand that you do have the ability to be successful. You do have it inside of you, that innate ability to make it happen. But when you run into the opposition and those difficulties, just know that you don't have to remain there. You don't. And because you don't have to remain there, breathe, walk away, come back, and execute. All right, that's what I got for you. Today started out with opposition, but I'm the victor. I felt like a victim. I felt like a victim to technology again. But just because I took the time to walk away, the time to assess, the time to come back, it became victorious because I knew what the mission was, and I know what the mission is. So look at it from that perspective. Knowing my mission, knowing my vision is going to get me through because my purpose was given to me. If my purpose is the key that's going to ignite me to drive me forward with the vehicle of persistence, then I will what? I will become consistent. Patience, persistence, and consistency. Those three things are very valuable. And when you understand the value behind patience, persistence, and consistency, there are so many things that you're going to get done a whole lot more and a whole lot faster, and done multiple times over and over again. So I know we were talking about one word, but I'm going to give you three: patience, persistence, and consistency. All right, it's Mr. R2 here at Consistency is Currency. You guys be blessed and enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, you're alive. You're on this side of the dirt. What more that can happen to you? You have already outlived someone who didn't make it yesterday. You already outlived someone who didn't make it to this week. So what are you going to do with your life? Because you've got another chance to make it right. Y'all be blessed. Peace.